everyone, this is your host Manal Bukhari, and welcome back to 10 Minutes of Hiding Wisdom. It's a brand new day, so we have a new guest with us on this show. So, today I have someone known for helping companies manage and secure their Salesforce data. His deep understanding of platform based solutions and data management is very insightful, especially for me, because I've seen platform based solutions being implemented for companies to improve their connectivity, efficiency, and their data control. So, enough about what I want to learn, and let's hear from the man himself, Todd. Hi, Todd. How's life during the pandemic?
Hey, well, first of all, thanks for having me and all. I can't complain, and I always say if I did complain, no one would want to listen. But in all seriousness, life has been good. Uh, just hanging out in San Luis Obispo right now, enjoying the sun. So
That must be
it's been
nice.
great.
That must be nice. I'm in San Francisco, and the sun, even though we have sun, it's usually windy. It's just an illusion. It's just an illusion.
Yeah, I'll be moving up there in June, so I'll be joining you
Oh,
soon.
are you excited?
I am. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And it looks like the city's reopening again, so I think I'm choosing a good time to be joining you.
Well, I will welcome you soon to San Francisco. I hope your opinion doesn't change, especially after the weather.
I'll manage.
Let's see. So, Todd, can you please tell us about your career journey and where you're currently working and how's that been going so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I graduated from college back in 2019, so I've really only been in the workforce for around 2 years. Originally, I was a technical recruiter at a company called Tech Systems in San Jose. But then I was reached out to join the team at Odaseva, where I'm currently doing business development, the first stages of sales. And it's been a lot of fun, a great journey so far. And I've learned a lot about not only data security, Salesforce, GDPR, CCPA, and all that good stuff, but also sales and working with people in general.
That sounds wonderful. And what do you think, as in, like, considering it's a new company and everything, how has your experience been so far? Like, what's been new compared to your previous work experience where you worked as a technical recruiter?
So actually, Odaseva has been around for about 8 years. That's
Okay.
when we were founded back in 2012, so almost nine. So, um, but there is definitely a difference from going from Tech Systems, which is a very large nationwide company, to Odaseva, where we have offices in San Francisco, Paris, and Australia. Um, there's definitely a change, but all in all, work is still the same. It's my job entails a lot of cold outreach and networking with people, very similar to recruiting, but much more focused on talking about what Odaseva does rather than how I can help people get new jobs. So that's what I'd say the biggest change is. But in general, it's all pretty similar.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. So, Todd, I'd love to hear your fresh perspective on this, but what do you think are some of the biggest mistakes people make when applying for jobs, specifically, for example, in your industry, which is the tech industry? Can you maybe elaborate and go into depth?
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake I've seen people make is giving up. Uh, because it's very easy to say, "Oh man, I didn't get this job. It must be all me, and I'm a bad candidate, and I'm never going to get a job." And the person on the other side of the interview didn't like me. When the fact of the matter is, pretty much none of that's true. Most likely, you're in this industry for a reason, and people, when you get rejected from a job, definitely don't take it personally because the talent pool is so big, right? Uh, and you never know when the person on the other side of the interview might come in handy down the road. So I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen, this person didn't get the job 2 months ago, but then the position opens up again a few months later, and they're able to get back in. So the key is keeping a positive mindset and not letting the initial setback stop you from continuing to try and reach your goal. So everything in this process, the interview process, the application process, is a positive to some degree. You just have to see the silver lining in everything.
Love the positivity. I think it's quite hard to actually remain positive when you're actually getting rejected, but I think that's
Oh, definitely.
definitely a very important key takeaway. You did mention that, like, for example, if someone gets rejected 2 months later, they get the job again. Can you maybe elaborate on what changes then? As in, like, do they come back with a stronger resume? Do they come back with a stronger cover letter? What exactly changes about them that this time they get the job instead of when they applied 2 months ago?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll go back and say, I'm not saying getting rejected is easy. Trust me. I get rejected on a daily basis when I call people and they tell me never to call again, and it still gets me kind of a little down. So I'm not trying to belittle any feelings you have. Just try and see the positives to some degree. But as far as what changes, sometimes nothing changes. Honestly, it could honestly be just a timing thing. It could be someone was further along in the interview process and it was an immediate need and they fit the bill perfectly and they really like this other candidate, so they weren't going to sit around and finish the other interviews out. So I've seen that, but it could be, you know, just practice, right? Some people aren't looking for jobs for a long time. Like you could be in a position for 5 years and you've never had an interview, and ring rust is real when it comes to interviewing. You're going to feel a little shaky, a little, man, did I say that right? Did I mess that up? So the confidence may not be there. And honestly, 2 months of going through interviews, it's pretty crazy to see the difference in someone's confidence and ability to communicate when they're back in the position again.
Well, that's very true. I think for me, when I was applying for jobs and everything, at first I used to have notes in front of me and I used to be reading through and everything, and you could tell. And then like, especially if they were online and everything. So I think definitely with time and everything, you get a deeper understanding of yourself. So that's always really helpful. So thank you for sharing that.
Of
So, the
course.
last question would be, what are some of the desired skills these days, especially when you're applying for jobs in the tech industry? For example, if someone is applying for jobs in your company, what would be something like, oh, you're like, oh, wow, this candidate, we need to get him before someone else does? What is something that makes a candidate stand out, especially because there's so many people applying to the same jobs these days? So many people are unemployed because of the pandemic. So, what can someone do to make sure that they get the job that they want?
Um, well, I to be honest with you, I can't really speak fully to a lot of the technical positions specifically
Hmm.
at Odaseva. Um, I'm involved in the sales process, the technical sales
Okay,
side of things. I can speak to that more clearly.
of course.
I think the key things I'm looking for someone who's looking to get into sales or technical sales is a mindset of understanding the sales process and kind of being a hunter looking for new companies that might be interested in our product. So you've got to be very self-sufficient and self-motivating and looking for new opportunities, as well as understanding the process of calling people and seeing that, hey, it won't work out the first time you call everybody. It's just kind of the fact, right? You just got to be able to take the punches, come back around, and call again. So really the main thing I'm looking for is a mindset and confidence in their ability to keep pushing forward.
That's very
Uh,
true. I think you can't lose hope, especially because I remember when I worked as a salesperson and everything, this woman came into the store who I won't name, but she was like, get off my face. And I'm just like, did I do something wrong? As in, like, is
right,
that? But then I remember being told that it doesn't have to be about you, it has to be more about the person, and maybe they might be having a bad day. So that's
exactly.
very inspiring, especially because you mentioned that you should never give up and love the positivity. You don't see a lot of positive people these days.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that. Is there anything that else that you'd like to add, just like regarding the job application or anything about your company that we'd love to hear from you?
As far as Odaseva goes, we just had a new website that launched literally this week. It's really awesome. Our team did a great job. And on there, you can actually find all the current job openings that we have, um, with full job descriptions and abilities to apply. If you'd like to learn more about the position or would like me to talk to you about the team, please, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to talk about Odaseva and how awesome we are, or give you a real idea of what it's like to work here. And I think it's an awesome time to join a fast-growing company. So please don't
Well,
hesitate to reach out to me.
thank you so much. If you want a job with Odaseva, you know who to reach out to, Todd, or you could reach out to me and I could provide you the link. Thank you so much, Todd,
Of
for
course.
today. And thank you so much for teaching me just like generally about data protection and how important that is these days. And I really appreciate you having you for as a guest today. And I will, as in like next time, until next time, I will be back with another guest next Tuesday.